Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review a movie called Love and Monsters, starring, I believe it's Dylan O'Brien. I think it's Dylan O'Brien. I'm probably saying it wrong. From Ender's Game and shit like that. No, not Ender's Game. From The Maze Runner, that guy. I believe it's Dylan O'Brien. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. But if you've seen him, he was in the Maze Runner franchise. He's been in a couple other things, but and he was also someone who people thought might be Spider-Man. But I digress. So this is a movie that came out last year. Now this is a later movie, but I never got to see this movie because at the time, as a lot of you know, last year was a rough time with the COVID stuff, and this movie came out in the height of COVID. This movie came out when it was at its worst, and every fucking thing was shut down. So it was pretty much impossible for me to see it, and by the time it was on Hulu, I didn't even know it was on Hulu. And so the movie is about, because this is a smaller movie, you guys probably haven't even heard of this, but it's on Hulu. Yeah, it's called Love and Monsters, and it's about a character named Joel. Now, Joel is, he's not so much of a wimp so much as he's petrified. Joel lives in an apocalypse, and this apocalypse is a bit different than other apocalypses in this sense. So as it turns out, sometime in the future, not super distant future, but in the future, an asteroid or meteor or whatever you want to say is gonna be hurling directly at Earth, and apparently all the countries around the world get together and go, we're gonna blast this thing with as many bombs as we can. They go down. Turns out a couple of the bombs, some of the material used in some of these bombs were so experimental and so bad that after the asteroid, they disintegrated the asteroid. They blew it up to the point where it's nothing but little pieces getting burnt in the atmosphere. Unfortunately, the chemicals they used in the bombs fell back to Earth and mutated all cold-blooded creatures. Lizards, bugs, snakes, all of them, and made them huge, mutated, giant, man-eating creatures. And that's how the apocalypse happened. All these cold-blooded creatures and bugs and whatnot turned giant and started eating people, and we tried to fight them off and dropping bombs and whatnot, and now we got ourselves a classic apocalypse. Except with that twist of the giant bugs thing. A lot of the survivors went underground and formed colonies and and whatnot. And Joel he's not so much of a wimp as so much as, okay, I guess he is sort of kind of a wimp. He's kind of a wimp. You find out early in the movie, and I don't think this is a spoiler because it's in the trailers. You find out early in the movie that Joel had this girlfriend, and what you really find out is, no, I'm not gonna spoil that for you. Yeah, I want you to see this movie. It's a really damn good movie. You find out Joel has this girlfriend, and on the day where shit started going down, these bugs started growing big, and the army started attacking them, and explosions and giant bugs. On that day, they finally admitted that they loved each other, and on that day, they got separated in the chaos of all this stuff, and they haven't seen each other for several years. This takes 7 years after the events of what happened, and he hasn't seen her in several years. But throughout the course of doing many things, he finds out she's alive, but she's in another colony. I believe they said a 7-day, on foot, it would take him 7 days to get to her. And you have to understand, in this world, nobody goes above, you go above ground when you have to. Otherwise, you either stay on the coast, you either have a colony that's on the edge and near the water, or you are underground. You found some way to build an underground bunker of a sort. That's what you do on this world. Because the bugs and the insects and so many of the creatures are so massive and so different and unique, and it's they just kill people left and right. Like you said at the top, 90% of the Earth, human beings on the Earth are dead. Well, 90% of almost everything is dead, because they're not just eating people, they're eating all kinds of things. So Joel, feeling a little pathetic down here in this book. And now I love something they did up top. Now, you would think that these people are, so the short little premise is he's gonna go on this 7-day journey to find the woman he loves. That is the short premise. He is willing to this nebbish, this nebbish sort of squirrely guy who is afraid, like petrified of monsters, like to the point where he freezes and can't move, is going to go on this 7-day journey to see the woman, to find the woman he loves. And that's just a short, like, copy of it. But the way they do it is so great. First of all, Dylan O'Brien, I hope I'm saying his name right. I think it's Dylan O'Brien. He is great as Joel. You really buy him as this everyman. You really you feel the fear that he has, but you also feel the desire to be more than what he is. You feel like, and I can definitely relate to that. The desire to be more than what he is. Like, he's petrified and he's afraid, like to the point of being completely still, but underneath it is a desire to be more than that. He doesn't want to be a prisoner of this. And you find out why he's like that. You find out the events in the past that kind of put that, engraved that feeling on him. But he doesn't want to be that guy anymore. And, you know, he goes on this journey to see this woman that he loved, that he discovers still alive. Not only is she still alive, she's the leader of her own colony. And I love the way they subvert so many things, because in any other apocalypse or any other movie like this, he would be leaving his colony behind because they're assholes, because they're dicks, they're assholes. He's like, man, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. But not in this movie. His colony are nice to him. They're family to him. They treat him well. They care about him. He doesn't feel like he is fulfilled in this colony. Like, he feels like he's alone. Like you know what I mean. Like, he feels like he's alone. Like, you know, he feels like he doesn't really fit, that he doesn't really add anything to the colony. They don't feel that way. They love him, and, you know, maybe like literally he doesn't quite always add anything, but they still love him. They still care for him, and, you know, but he feels like he's missing something, and he wants to go on this journey to go find it. And at the end of the day, that's what this movie is about. Is him self-discovery. It's self-discovery about himself, self-discovery about the world, and in the end of the movie, self-discovery to the whole world who are listening on the radio, that, you know, sometimes in life you have to take risks to find what you're looking for. Like, if you don't take risks, if you don't go out there, like, you're just gonna slowly rot away. And he took this risk. And, like, you know, and like I said, I don't want to spoil any of the movie for you guys, because I really want you guys to see this. The CGI and the monsters are really cool, and I love some of the sequences with some of the creatures. They're so nasty looking and gnarly looking. It's a PG movie, but I'm telling you, it's got some raunchy shit in it. Like up top, within the first 13 minutes of the movie, there are, like, a couple of sex scenes. Like it's not, like, graphic or anything, but it's enough to be like, whoa. And it's also one of those movies where up top he's kind of narrating, and near the tail end he's kind of narrating as well. So that's always fun. Oh, man, it has the actress who played Colleen Wing in Iron Fist is in this, and she's really fun too. Beautiful woman, great to see her get more work. But man, like, I really enjoyed this movie. It was just fun going on this journey with him. And it felt like, since he was clueless and since he had to learn too, it was like learning the world together through his eyes. Also, he ran into Michael Rooker's in this as a very fun, you know, veteran survivor character. And their dynamic was good. There was a little girl in this. Their dynamic was good. It totally a shout out to all apocalyptic, like, Fallout type things, because of course he finds a clever dog who's by his side through thick and thin. Like, of course he finds a clever dog who's by his side through everything. And they super set up a sequel bait. I hope this movie had some success of any sort, because it deserves a sequel. It was really good. I had a fun time with this. Probably one of the best movies, like, if I had, like, probably it's definitely the best movie of 2020, but I don't know, man. Like, I had a lot of fun with this movie. Honestly, I have no complaints about this movie. Even the ending, where I thought where it was going, I was like, okay, I like the way they even got to that point. Yeah, I had fun with this, and it's violent, and it's gruesome, but it manages to do it and not actually show it, which is just proof that you can do movies like this, these violent, you know, apocalyptic, you know, awful movies. You can do them without having to resort to it being so gruesome and bloody and whatnot. And this movie is just more proof to that case. So I would give Love and Monsters a 9 out of 10. I loved the movie. I really did. I ended up enjoying the movie more than I thought. I was watching it and I was just like, this is a damn good movie, man. Like, I wish I would have saw this in theaters. Oh man, I ended up really enjoying myself, like really enjoying myself. So thank you guys for on the Comic Game Movie Show, and have you seen Love and Monsters? If you haven't and you got Hulu, and just pop it in, give it a look. It's a really fun movie. It's a really fun little adventure. It's part monster movie, part apocalypse movie, and part love story. Just like, I mean, think about it like this. How many men or women do you know would travel across monster-filled lands for 7 days just on the off chance that you love them? I mean, look, I'm not saying, like, if I did some shit like that and a woman's like, oh, well, I'm not that into you, I might kill everybody in the fucking camp. Sorry, man. If I traveled 7 days through monster-riddled land, surviving all that shit just to get there and be like, oh, okay, well. But like I said, I enjoyed it. It's very romantic. It really is. This is a Valentine's Day movie. Like, it might be a Valentine's Day movie. I'm thinking this might be one because like just the premise on its basis is like, that's the most romantic thing a guy could ever do. I mean, like, that's some crazy shit right there. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.